today's news, an American is held at the airport with a loaded gun. A new booklet helps build your immune system. The premier gives the keynote address at the Island Finance Forum. Parsons says to use the wall to honor softball legends. The government should address fuel surcharge, says CLINE. And the BVI Investment Club celebrates 30 years. All these and more when 284 returns.
Yo, everything good, Dad?
Aye. This thing got me one way, Daddy.
What you mean?
Ever since I hook up with this thing, can't eat, I can't sleep. This is the first thing I touch it when I reach home.
What you really? Hey, this ain't like you, you know.
Dad, this thing got me staying home. Keeping out that trouble me.
Wow. What your name is?
Shit. I talking about my CCT life.
Don't worry about missing your favorite series, sports, news, and local programming. Come to CCT today and sign up for CCT Live to access over 80 channels. CCT Live. Bring it home.
1 month free trial turn into 5. 5 months turn into, well, you know I hustle. I watching ball. I been watching football. Dad, Nickelodeon, Paw Patrol. I am hooked. Hook, I tell you.
Welcome viewers, I'm Nia Douglas coming to you live from the beautiful British Virgin Islands. It's Wednesday, April 27th, and I'd like to thank you for tuning in to 284 News tonight. Starting off today's news, a 52-year-old American male was arrested at the Terrence B. Lettsome International Airport on Beef Island after being found to be in possession of a loaded firearm. This is according to the Royal Virgin Islands Police Force, RVIPF, which confirmed via a media release that the incident occurred on Tuesday, April 26th. The police said the man entered the British Virgin Islands with said weapon just 5 days prior, but alleged he was not searched by immigration nor customs during his entry. Initial inquiries indicate that the male entered the territory on April 21st in possession of the weapon and was not checked by immigration or customs. However, upon trying to depart the territory on April 26th, the weapon was found in his possession, and he was subsequently arrested by the police stationed at the airport, the RVIPF stated. Police said inquiries are ongoing into this matter. In other news, on Monday, a book launch ceremony was held for the Living Healthy in the Era of SARS-CoV-2 and COVID-19. The booklet was co-authored by Sylvia Adams, Philippa Barry, Dr. Nadine Battle, Kenya Jeffers, Dr. Bernadette McKelly, Burnett Scatliff, and Merritt Smith. Recently, I got to sit down with Dr. Bernadette McKelly herself, who gave me some insight into the book and how it came to be. Take a look.
Well, the name of the booklet is Living Healthy in the Era of SARS-CoV-2 COVID-19. And it's a very nice booklet. It has information in about 4 sections. We talk about, well, let me begin with saying, one of the most important things in living in this era is having a healthy immune system. And that's the key goal of the booklet, is to encourage persons to take care of their immune system. So we do talk about how you do that with the necessary vitamins and minerals and health practices. Talk about in the event if you are exposed, including consulting your doctor, what else you can possibly do. We provide basic information on herbal medicines that are used for common illnesses persons may experience, colds and things like that. We talk about a home sanitization plan, how to keep your home as clean as possible in this time. And we also talk about foods you can eat and foods you should stay away from. We suggest some gardening tips that you can use for healthy eating. And we also have a section on prayers and scriptures in the event that you may be isolated, to keep your spirits up and just keep yourself grounded to know that with God, all is well.
Dr. McKelly also elaborated on why this booklet is still significant despite no longer being in the height of the pandemic. Okay, and for persons who might be saying, COVID is ending, the pandemic is over, why do I need this book? What would you say to those persons who think that maybe the booklet might not be necessary or might not be very helpful at this time?
Yes, we thought of that, and that's an excellent question. That is why the booklet focuses on your immune system. And we know our immune system, and if we had one of those, the three ladies who are in the medical field, Dr. Battle, Nurse Catliffe, or dietitian nutritionist Barry, they would tell you that in any illness, any disease, your immune system is key. And so even if we also know that the medical industry is saying we are moving from a pandemic to an endemic, which means it will be with us. So we really concentrated on your immune system. And so we know this booklet will, whether we are still in SARS, hopefully God's willing, we will, it is ending like people are hoping and saying. Your immune system until forever, you are on this side, is key to keeping it healthy. So this booklet would always be relevant because it's not just for SARS, it's beyond, but we just happen to focus on SARS and COVID at this time. So I would say still get the booklet.
At the book launching ceremony held at the Reverend Ralph Perry Gore Center for Missions and Ministry in Seacows Bay, remarks were given by the Minister for Fisheries and Agriculture, the 3rd District Representative, and the Minister for Health and Social Development. Acting Premier and Minister for Education, Culture, Youth Affairs, Fisheries and Agriculture, Dr. the Honorable Natalio Wheatley, said that he thinks the book will have a tremendous impact.
And I can tell just by the persons who are involved in this publication that this book is one that I think will have a tremendous impact on our population if persons access it. Of course, persons have to buy it, they have to read it. It's for free. Persons, well, even better. It's even more accessible, and let me just thank you for ensuring that this is free and accessible. And it really speaks to the character of the individuals who are involved in this publication, that you want to help persons to live well.
Up next, the Premier gives the keynote address at the Island Finance Forum. This story and more when we return.
The beautiful Virgin Islands, or nature's little secret as some prefer, where the weather stays warm and the drinks stay cold, where men in wigs get their lawyer bills paid by governments and governments lose planes, where walls are built and prisoners escape. You vacation where we suffer. BVI love.
You value traditions. Today, you value music. You value education. Family. I love you. Service.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Love. Life. At Popular, we're committed to you and everything our community values. For the things you value the most, count on us. Popular.
There's a reason you get up on a morning. A reason you pick yourself up, start the day. Maybe it's sheer grit. Maybe it's your ethics. Maybe it's because you know people like you are waiting for people just like you. We all have our reasons, and for Republic Bank, that reason is you. Every little thing, every big thing. It's all about making a difference in your life. Because after 182 years, if it's one thing we're sure about, is that the difference is you. We're here to help.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
Welcome back, viewers. Premier and Minister of Finance, Honorable Andrew Foy, served as the keynote speaker, addressing policymakers and leading experts in the fields of sustainable finance and development during the Island Finance Forum 2022 on April 25th. The Island Finance Forum, held virtually from the 25th to the 29th of April, provides an opportunity for stakeholders to engage knowledge in order to drive investment for island communities and small island developing states. Premier Foy gave the opening keynote address during the panel session held under the theme, Leave No One Behind, Building an Equitable Recovery for Island Communities. The session focused on the relevance of putting the spotlight on inequalities for more equitable societies and island nations, and has been reaffirmed considering the disparities, socioeconomic effects of the COVID-19 pandemic. As the world continues to transition into the post-pandemic era, addressing inequalities in island communities will require a holistic analysis of complex and often overlapping dimensions, which go far beyond the surface variables of income and wealth distribution. In his address, the Premier highlighted different opportunities for change. He said, islands are resilient and we will never recover from the pandemic, He said, islands are resilient and we will recover from the pandemic, but we must seize the opportunity before us to address the structural imbalances and inequalities in our societies for an inclusive and equitable recovery based on sustainable development. Small island developing states share common challenges, and there must be a paradigm shift in terms of national life and our response to those challenges. Moderator for the panel was Mr. James Ellis Moore, CEO of Island Innovation. Speakers on the panel included Chief Minister of St. Helena Government, Honorable Julie Thomas, Development Director for the Foreign Commonwealth and Development Office, FCDO, in the Caribbean, and UK Director to the Caribbean Development Bank, Mr. Stefan Kosoff, and Senior Associate, RMI, Islands Energy Program, Maximiliano Lane Fiesta. The overall objectives of the forum are to bridge the gap between sustainable development practitioners and financial stakeholders, help island stakeholders access expert knowledge and financial opportunities, and to showcase the economic opportunities available from investing in the sustainability sector on these islands. In other news, former Minister of Health, Education and Welfare and ex-Olympic Committee Secretary General, Mrs. Eileen L. Parsons, OBE, is calling for the government to dedicate the wall at the E. Walwyn Bruley Ballpark as a sports wall to honor former softball greats of the territory. Mrs. Parsons' plea came during the recent ceremony which was held by the Department of Youth Affairs and Sports to rename the Industrial Softball League to the Terrence Chino Shinnery Industrial Softball League. She said it has an inexpensive solution which can be used to honor former softball greats such as the late Mr. Chinnery.
What can this government do to keep this giant of a worker ever in the mind of this community? Again, I ask, what can this government do to keep this giant of a worker ever in the mind of this community? We have the panels of the wall on this field. My humble suggestion is that this wall be dedicated a sports wall. That's the wall and the
if my head was tilted the whole time, that's not
we cannot afford all bronze statues.
I think I did tilt my head because I didn't understand
but we can afford full-figure wooden statues.
Guys.
Mr. Ben Vanterpool did it for several heritage dancers' floats. He can be commissioned to create such statues of softball greats from weather-resistant wood and mount them on the panels.
You just don't want the
Several departed players come to mind. Maybe businesses or individuals can sponsor a player or just a panel. It is a suggestion that is now out there. Let me see if it will be talked out of existence.
Mrs. Parsons, while delivering her tribute to Shinnery, also reflected on how the two first met.
It was at a game in Puerto Rico that I met a young ball player for the USVI team named Terrence Shinnery. We exchanged pleasantries and I found out that I knew his parents. Further, he and El Mopana needed my services to translate to Spanish girls they were trying to chat up. It was always Miss P, Tella, or say. Because of that, we became friends. I tried very hard to get him to work for us as a sport officer, but I was not successful. I was to learn later that he did apply for a job but was denied, saying he was not born here. This young man's mother was from Cane Garden Bay, and his father was from Just Van Dyke. That gave him any access to any job in this country. But as our elders used to say, what God don't want, the angels can't have.
In 1997, Mrs. Parsons became the first female minister after 30 years of ministerial government in the BVI when she was appointed Minister of Health, Education, and Welfare, which at the time was also responsible for sports. She said it was at that time she was ensured that Chinnery was successful in his bid to become a sports officer for the government of the Virgin Islands, a job he kept until he retired. Up next, Claude Skelton-Klein is urging the government to do something about the fuel surcharge on electricity bills. Stay tuned.
Hello?
Wait, you had a lunch at camp? You don't say you were sick? What happened to our wedding rehearsal?
No, babe. I'm actually watching the news right now. Take a listen.
Topping our newscast today, UFOs seen around Tortola Pier Park.
And District 3 residents outraged over no water supply. They simply cannot bathe. These and more stories when 284 News returns.
All right, babe, just get some rest, take 2 Advil, and I'll see you later. Bye.
Okay, honey. I'll see you later. I love you.
It's clear to see that Coconut Lounge is a place to be, the coolest cocktail lounge in the British Virgin Islands. A lounge like no other, with welcoming, professional service, and a breathtaking ambiance. Not forgetting a diverse selection of wines, beers, and signature cocktails. Cozy, comfortable, contemporary. Coconut Lounge at Tortola Pier Park. Visit us today. Brilliant Hands and Minds Tutoring Services. One-on-one tutorials in math and English, intense homework assistance, academic enrichment, school projects, effective communication and public speaking development, sign language for adults and children on Saturdays only. Registered with the Virgin Islands High School Certificate Program, Brilliant Hands and Minds can help you too. Offering intense curriculum-based training to help you or your loved ones get their high school diploma. It's time to make your family's education a #1 priority. Hurry, space is limited. Brilliant Hands and Minds Learning Center. We are the trained education professionals.
The wait is over! CCT Fire is here! Experience ultra-fast downloads, seamless streaming, and even more reliable connectivity on an all-new fire-blazing super-fast CCT Fiber network. CCT Fire, bring it home and upgrade today.
Thanks for sticking with us. Local talk show host Claude Skelton-Klein is urging the government to do something about the fuel surcharge on electricity bills, which he said has resulted in some residents paying hundreds of dollars more for the same monthly usage. Klein made the comments during his Honestly Speaking radio program on Tuesday after comparing electricity bills from the last 2 months which he had within his possession.
Now I know that the managing director and others at the BVIEC, as they always will have, some explanation why this is. But my brothers and sisters, and this is for the government of the day as well, and I know that there are some good movements that has been had by the government as far as duty on a myriad of items. And that's on through June, and that's a good move. But these monthly electrical bills, this fuel surcharge business, is something worth looking at. I don't know what the solution is. I don't know what all the answers are. But I'm just highlighting for you what you already know, but in the hearing of those who are in authority.
The former government consultant said that the fuel surcharge for the bill due in April was 13 cents and amounted to approximately $2,200, while the bill, which is due for May, has a fuel surcharge of 21 cents and totals approximately $3,000.
In April 13, when we got this bill, that fuel surcharge was 13 cents per kilowatt.
He really telling Claude's story?
13 cents. That was April. In May's bill, it is 21 cents. And you know the difference between that 13 cents and 21 cents between April and May of the same year, the consecutive months? $659.62.
CLINE also made it clear that the kilowatt-hour usage for both bills in question was the exact figure. He said with this increase in most bills across the territory, residents will find it even more difficult to survive.
Now the usage, this is the part I can't understand. The usage is fundamentally the same. 0.24, both bills. What they have, and some bills you have like Block 1 energy, Block 2 energy. 22 cents, 24 cents. Same usage. Didn't use any more, didn't use any less. Yet, there is a difference in the fuel surcharge costs between the 13 cents per kilowatt hour and the 21 cents per kilowatt hour comparing April and May. And those two figures, the usage $170.10, fuel surcharge cost $659.62, total $829.72. They really plan to kill us.
In other news, 30 years ago, a group of Virgin Islanders got together amidst a cloud of economic uncertainty that threatened to marginalize Virgin Islanders' involvement in the economic development of the territory. After many months of intentional deliberations, discussions, and reflections, the BVI Investment Club was birthed on April 23, 1992, with a vision of sharing in the economic development of the British Virgin Islands. With that vision and guiding tenets and principles in place, the BVI Investment Club embarked on a journey, answering the call of their generation to step up to the plate and punch above our weight class and overcome the ingrained negative cultural sentiment against the collective pooling of economic resources to achieve economic success beyond their individual capacity. These deliberations and discussions have led members to a place of resolve, and their vision of meaningful economic inclusion in the development of the British Virgin Islands could not be achieved without their collective talents, resources, wisdom, and aspirations. The vision of the club is grounded in 5 guiding tenets and investment principles that have enabled the club to weather the inevitable storms that we are destined to go through, and remain focused and humble amidst the triumphs and successes over the past 30 years. The BVI Investment Club tenets are mutual respect for each member as an individual, the common desire for BVI landers and belongers to share meaningfully in the economic development of the BVI, willingness to sacrifice short-term benefits for long-term goals, equality in investment, one man, one vote, a deep trust and belief in the collective wisdom of the members of the club, represented by a 2/3 majority in decision-making. The energy and excitement around the club's formation set the stage for the club's pursuit of its first investment, in compliance with their vision and guiding principles. The target was a 50% equity stake in a small cellular company with huge future potential, which they were successful in accomplishing with the support of Hamilton Lavity Stout. The following investments are owned by entities independent of the club: CCT Global Communications, Ocean Conversion, Coral Isle Insurance, an insurance company providing home, auto, medical, and life insurance, Village Key Marina, and Virgin Gorda Yacht Harbor. In addition to the investments noted above, the club also invested in purchasing a large block of land, subdividing it, adding basic infrastructure services, and selling it to nationals to achieve their dream of building their first home. Today, through entities owned independently by members of the club, is represented in the hospitality, financial services, telecommunications, and utility subsectors, employing over 120 employees, over 1,500 shareholders, with over $2.8 million in divided distributions to date, and making more than $2 million in donations to community and sponsorship events over our 30 years of existence. The BVI Investment Club owns 100% and effectively manages their investments in Village Key, Virgin Gorda Yacht Harbor, and CCT Global Communications. Well, that's it for today's news roundup. Be sure to follow us for daily news updates at 284media.com and like us on Facebook at 284media and 284BVI on Instagram and Twitter. I'm Nia Douglas. I'll see you again tomorrow as we deliver your daily dose of local, regional, and international content. 284 News, your source for honest and impartial news, right here on 284 Media. Happy Wednesday, everybody. Have a great evening.
So you're saying I can ask this cat any question?
The cat is connected to the computer. You just type in the question, it will read his mind. There the answer comes.
You're the man! I've been looking for this for weeks.
A show poised to help guide modern-day men into 21st century distinguished gentlemen. It doesn't always involve suits and, bow ties, but raw, real-life lessons that translate to grounded, community-minded, well-rounded men. This season, I'm taking you on an entirely different journey, from chefs to dancers, philanthropists, communications specialists, and much more. I'm heading outside in the field to share the journey of some of the BVI's best and brightest men. From East End to West End, Virgin Gorda, Justin Lake, not forgetting Antigua. Our Virgin Islands gentlemen are doing the damn thing, and I'm so proud. Get ready to reason, reflect, and redirect. We are the movers and shakers of this generation, and we ain't afraid to show it. The Art of a Distinguished Gentleman, Season 3 by yours truly, Ron Grant, raising a generation of greatness. Is business slow, cash flow down, hosting an upcoming event? We can help. Advertise with 284 Media and take your business or event to the next level by enhancing your present marketing and messaging strategies. Allow our team of experts to create a personalized ad that sets your business apart from all the rest. This could be your business or event. So, what are you waiting for? Contact our marketing team at 284media@cctbvi.com. Advertising with us works. Brilliant Hands and Minds Tutoring Services, one-on-one tutorials in math and English, intense homework assistance, academic enrichment, school projects, effective communication and public speaking development, sign language for adults and children on Saturdays only. Registered with the Virgin Islands High School Certificate Program, Brilliant Hands and Minds can help you too. Offering intense curriculum-based training to help you or your loved ones get their high school diploma. It's time to make your family's education a #1 priority. Hurry, space is limited. Brilliant Hands and Minds Learning Center. We are the trained education professionals.
So you're saying I can ask this cat any question?
The cat is connected to the computer. You just type in the question, it will read his mind. There the answer comes.
You're the man! I've been looking for this for weeks.